Are you quitting smoking and you're considering a nicotine replacement therapy like the patch versus doing something like Chantix or a drug? And do you want to know which of those two you should actually pick? Perhaps you just want as much information as you could possibly get so that you can make up your own mind. I'm going to give you all of the details in this video and give you all the information that you would need to make a very informed and educated decision. But first, really quickly, just put in the comments below your immediate reaction as to which one you think might be the right decision for you. And let's see where you end up at the end of the video. Here are the 8 factors that you actually need to consider when you're going to decide between the patch versus Chantix. 1. What is the patch? And what is Chantix? What are these things? 2. How do they both work? 3. What is the difference between them? 4. How do you use them? 5. What are the likely side effects of these products? 6. How effective are they? 7. How do you decide which one is right for you? And 8. What's this going to cost you? If you understand those 8 factors, making a decision which one is best for you becomes really easy. I have a bonus for you, because many of the people that watch my videos may not actually take my program. What I've done for you is, if you're going to use one of these products or any quit smoking product, I have gone out, I have done all of the research on which are the best products for each one of these categories. And I've secured deals so that you can get the absolute best price on these products. You will find in the description the link to Amazon where you can buy these products at a highly reduced rate. You'll find everything from all the different nicotine replacement therapies like the patch, the gum, the lozenges, the spray. You will also find things that will help you with oral fixation, and you can even get books at a discounted rate like Alan Carr's The Easy Way to Quit Smoking. Okay, let's hop right in. We're going to look at question number 1 and question number 2 together. What are these 2 products and how do they work? Let's start with the patch. The patch is literally a nicotine patch that you put on your arm. The patch has nicotine in it and it absorbs into your blood through your skin, as opposed to getting your nicotine from smoking. That's what it is, but here's how it's supposed to work. Essentially, you're supposed to take the patch to treat your smoking like an addiction, to weed yourself down off of the addiction, to buy yourself time to deal with other core issues. And the truth is, most people just don't even use the patch properly. They don't even know that. Now, if you've tried the patch and it's worked or not worked, let us know in the comments below. Now let's look at the drugs like Chantix. And there are other drugs like Zyban, but Chantix is the most popular. So what is Chantix? It's essentially a drug called Vericline tartrate. What it actually is actually really simple. It's a pill that has a drug in it, and that's literally all it is. The real question becomes, how does it actually work? Vericline works by blocking how the brain interacts with nicotine. Or in other words, what it actually does is it blocks your brain from being able to even pick up the nicotine. You see, what your brain does when you smoke is it creates these things called polypeptides. Their job is to go out and grab the nicotine and bring the chemical back to your brain. And when it brings back the nicotine to your brain, it literally stimulates your pleasure sensor in your brain and causes your brain to release dopamine. Dopamine makes you feel good. So every time you smoke, you are making yourself feel good, but there's a catch. It only lasts literally for a few seconds. And so you have this constant desire to keep smoking because you want to keep feeling good. And the theory is that's the addiction part of smoking. So what Chantix actually does is it stops your brain or those polypeptides from actually being able to grab the nicotine. It essentially replaces it. And so when you smoke, you don't get that dopamine rush. so you don't feel good. So when you use Chantix over time, the idea is you're breaking that association between quitting smoking and feeling good, because you actually literally can't feel good from the smoking. So Chantix is really designed to buy you time, just like the patch. It's designed to help you with the addiction so that you have time to deal with things like habit. So when your doctor prescribes you Chantix, they almost always try to send you to counseling as well to deal with habit. It's designed to work in conjunction with another product. So Chantix and the patch are really the same in this regard. Both are designed to essentially buy you time so you can deal with things like habit. So they both effectively do the same thing, they just have different mechanisms to accomplish the same goal. So that leads to question number 3. What's the difference between the two? Well, this is a really easy question to answer. Not much. One essentially gives you nicotine, the patch, and weeds you off of it slowly. The other one is designed to replace the nicotine, to buy you that time. So there's really not much difference. So number 4, how do we actually use them? Let's look at the patch. The patch is basically designed to be used in 3 stages. Each stage has a different amount of nicotine that it's giving you into your system. Stage 1 is 21 milligrams, and you use the patch once a day and you put it on your arm, is the best place. Stage 2, you get 14 milligrams of nicotine, and then stage 3, you get 7. So it goes 21, 14, 7. And here's how it really works. You start at either stage 1 or stage 2, depending upon how heavy a smoker you are. So if you're smoking 2 packs a day, you start at stage 1. If you smoke a pack a day or less, you start at stage 2. Whichever stage you start at, you use that stage for a total of 6 weeks. And then every stage you move on to, you use for 2 weeks. But what they will tell you is, you can continue using those stages if you're still struggling. So at a minimum, you are going to be using it for 10 weeks, or essentially 3.5 months. And the point of that 3.5 months is, guess what? To deal with habit and the other issues associated with why it's hard to quit smoking. That's the whole buying you time part. Now let's look at how to use Chantix. So Chantix is essentially a pill that you take. Chantix is a 12-week program, or 4 months. You start by taking a 0.5 milligram pill for 3 days straight. You then up it to a 0.5 milligram dosage twice a day for 4 days. You then switch to a full milligram twice a week. And typically you do it after 3 days, and then you do it after 4 days. And you keep rotating like that till you hit the end of the 12 weeks. And that's it. It's really not that hard to do Chantix. You just have to set a reminder on your phone. So now that we understand that, let's look at number 5. What are the side effects? Let's start with the patch. So the main side effects from the patch that are experienced by more than 50% of people are rashes, irritation around where you actually put the patch on, dizziness, a racing heartbeat, headache, nausea, stiff muscles, and aches and pains, usually throughout most of your body. And people often become nervous or irritable. And those are very common side effects of the patch. Now let's look at Chantix, which really takes you kind of up another level in terms of side effects. Most people get a form of nausea, and it usually lasts for several months. You often get stomach pain, indigestion, coupled with constipation, gas, vomiting. You can get severe headaches. You feel weak, you feel tired. One of the most common side effects people report are very lucid dreams, often in the form of nightmares that feel very real. You can often get sleeping issues like insomnia. You get a funny taste in your mouth. And the part you really have to pay attention to is, it also leads to depression and suicidal thoughts or dark thoughts. If you do decide to take Chantix and you get suicidal thoughts, stop taking the drug immediately and seek out medical attention as soon as you possibly can. So if you've ever used Chantix, put your comments below and let us know what it was like for you and what side effects you had or didn't have. Okay, question number 7, one of the big ones. How do you know which one of these two you should actually do if you're considering which one to do? This is a really tough question, and the truth is really only you can answer it. But let me give you some guidance. Basically, if you have a history of anxiety or depression, just stay away from the Chantix altogether. It's not even worth going there. If you don't have a history of anxiety and depression, it might be worth giving it a shot. And that's essentially the best advice. If you have anxiety and depression issues, do the patch. If you don't, give it a try. It can be quite effective for some people. But remember, you cannot do these products as standalone methods to quit smoking. You have to couple it with something to help you deal with the oral fixation and the things like the habit. Okay, question 8. Obviously a real big one for some people. How much do they cost? The truth is, the cost actually varies for both, because both of these products you can use more than once. And the patch in particular, you can keep using it over a longer period of time. The bottom line is, on the patch, most people spend between $1,000 to $3,000, depending upon how many cycles you do. You can basically expect on average to spend around $1,500 to quit using the patch. So how much does it cost to do Chantix? Again, this is kind of a hard one to answer. Why? Because some people have drug prescription plans through their work where this drug may be covered or it may be partially covered. On the low end, people will spend about $1,800 for Chantix. And on the high end, if you have no insurance or no coverage at all, you can expect to pay around $3,800. And again, this also depends on whether or not you do the 12-week cycle on more than one occasion. Now remember, if you want to do the patch, I put a link in the description where you can get a deal so you don't have to pay all of that money if you want to do it. You can also buy other quit smoking aids to work with the patch in the description below as well. And just remember to do something other than just these products to deal with the issue of things like habit and oral fixation. You're going to need additional help other than these 2 products. I would love it if you would consider my program. So what I've done is, in the description below, I've also put a link to my calendar. So if you want more information about how my program could help you while you do these other methods, or how you might just use just my program, then just sign yourself into a free 50-minute phone consultation with me. It's just conversational. It's fun. We'll have a good time. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Blessings to everyone. And if you want more information on exactly how to couple these methods with other methods, then watch the video that I'm going to post up here at the end called What is Stacking? I will talk to all of you soon. Blessings to everyone.